Hi everyone, it's Belinda Weaver here. I am going to start going live weekly answering questions that I have got in my free Facebook group, on Instagram, in my coaching membership, Confident Copywriting, and sharing some good stuff with you. So, one of the questions I got in my Confident Copywriting group this week was, how do I quote on this project when I've never done it before? So it was how do I quote on this brochure when I've never written a brochure before? And there are a couple of different ways that you can approach quoting on a project that you've never done before. Just because you've never done it before doesn't mean that you can't quote on it. So the first way is to look at the work you have done. Are there any parallels that you can draw on to create like a baseline price? For example, if you know that the A5 brochure pages are going to have about 200 words, and when you quote your regular website copywriting project, they're 400 to 500 words. Well, in that case, a brochure page for this client might be about half a website page. Now, it's not that black and white, but the point is look at the work you have done and see how you can use those metrics to apply to this copywriting project that you've never done. So that's the first one. The second way is to create what I call a production cost. So when website copy is written, it takes between 2 and 3 hours. That's about the industry benchmark for relatively straightforward website copy. And without including a lot of extra research, that includes a little bit of light research, the writing, and the revisions. So you need to break that kind of lump of time down into the different stages. But what you can do is actually create a production cost of writing, editing, and revision time for a smaller unit of measure. That sounds a bit complicated. What I mean is you might say, well, on average, it takes me about an hour to write 200 words. Writing being light research, writing, editing, and revision time. And that becomes your unit of measure that you can use in your quoting process. So that is 2 ways that you can use the information that you already have on the work you've done in the past to quote for copywriting projects that you have never done before. Now, there are some extra considerations. The first one is that when you're quoting on something for the first time, you might balls it up completely. You might quote way less than it takes you. And that's kind of a hit you have to take on the first time you quote, but you should absolutely learn from that. And what I'll also point out about that is to mitigate the risk of completely lowballing yourself on a new project. Realize that that might be the case and don't be ultra conservative. Remember, with your copy quoting, you never want to quote on how long it will take you to do it in as fast as possible, right? You want to quote on how long it will take you to do in a comfortable time frame that will let you deliver your best work, and how valuable it is to the client. That's another quoting metric that I'm not going to get into today. But so recognize that you might take a hit on this first project because you're also learning how to do something, but make sure you do learn from that and incorporate it into your future pricing. So I hope that you find this useful, copywriters. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you here next week.